Here are the true heroes and heroines of animal activism. And we need more of us. The people that actually get up, stand up and take the action, like the speakers before me have talked about. We all know that we are living in dangerous times. We're at a collective turning point in history where old ideas and old ways of doing things are simply not enough to deal with the enormous issues we're facing. Climate, environment, austerity, and a political system run by a bunch of evil clowns in hock to their corporate masters. This is what we're dealing with. And of course, then there's our relationship with other animals. Now, my activism journey began quite a long time ago as a journalist, doing stuff on human rights, environmental stuff. Then I moved into catastrophic climate breakdown. Throughout this, I was completely unaware of anything about animals, although I was an environmentalist and loved animals. So after I went vegan in Malaysia about 8 years ago, I was trying to think, should I continue with the climate activism, or should I start to be more active with vegans and the animals? And so I went for the whole vegan side of things because it just seemed, I thought it would be easier. I'm not sure if it's easier, but I'm really glad I made that choice. And in Malaysia, there was not much awareness at that time of even the word veganism, so I started my own group. And then after a while, I came to the UK and I started a group here. I also joined XR because that was really sort of like exciting and new. And then I started my own group in Bristol. Then there was COVID, then there was lockdowns. So I think what this has done is it's given me a perspective on what we actually need to have done. So my perspective is that as a vegan, we face daily assaults by the speciesist and human supremacist media, advertising and mainstream culture. And this is propaganda. As animal activists, we deal with despair, overwhelm, guilt, fury, and I think some of the previous speakers have alluded to these horrific feelings. And a host of other emotions as we struggle to make sense of what is blindingly obvious to us now, and which 99% of a population of alleged animal lovers refuse to acknowledge. That the use, persecution and oppression of other animals is not, never was, and never will be love. Whether we are looking at footage of pigs screaming in gas chambers, baby cows separated from their mums, bewildered and scared, or trying not to look at the ads where animal body parts and their own precious and vital secretions are presented as food, fun and enjoyable for all the family, and anyone who disagrees with it is a weird preachy vegan and had better shut up. We are living in a war zone, a war against other animals, a war such as the world has never seen, in which not millions, not billions, but trillions of our fellow creatures who walk, swim, crawl, run and fly are seen as targets for the exterminating greed of corporations, politicians, fellow citizens, and sadly, all too often, friends and family. Faced with indifference and hostility, lies and denial, contempt, apathy and self-serving ignorance, how can we respond? Each Sorry. We'll go so well then. Each and every vegan must, in whatever way we can, become an activist. We have no choice, and many of you here will be activists. And I think that's why I said heroes and heroines at the beginning, because so many vegans are not. And it's really important, as we all know, to really up our activism game. And I know it's hard, and I know we're too busy. We have to work, we have to take care of the kids ourselves, we have to cook and clean and worry about how we can pay the rent or the mortgage, put food on the table or pay the bills. And anything else is too much. Sometimes we're exhausted, running on empty. And maybe we're not activist type people. We want a quiet life, safe with our loved ones, scrolling through Facebook, WhatsApp or whatever, wondering how other humans can be so horrible. Well, here's a thought. Perhaps our fellow humans need our help to come to the same recognition that we have. What I sometimes think of or say is the vegan good news, though most people don't see it like that. The other animals, each and every one, from the cute kitten, the annoying snail who's chomping their way through my cabbage leaves as I speak, from the innocent piglet to the chicken our kids' school hatchery project, from the horses forced to race to worker bees whose honey we steal, each and every one of these is a precious individual, a person who likes, loves, and wants to live just like us. And the only way this recognition is going to happen is with a vegan invasion, a revolutionary shift in consciousness, challenging the collective myths, lies, and self-serving propaganda of our globalized human supremacist culture. And it matters less what we do than that we do something, alone or with others. I've done work with Animal Rising, I've done work with XR, and I think it's all good. You know, I've worked with the Saves, all sorts of other groups. I think it's really important, and sometimes you dip into something and you dip out, and I think the thing is to keep on dipping in again. So we need to have conversations, hand out leaflets, door dropping, protesting, liberating, looking after other animals, volunteering, getting arrested, calling out the atrocities, and whether these atrocities are in a family-friendly city farm or the hellscape of an invisibilized factory farm, they are still atrocities. And we need to join with each other and other groups fighting for justice, which is why we're all here today, and that's why I'm here today. And we need to open our mouths when we're too scared to speak, to stand out, to be noticed. When we want to hide, maybe we can organise, drive, print leaflets, campaign. And if we don't know how, we can find a group or start one ourselves. We don't need a perfect match forever, just a jumping off point, something to try to release ourselves from the prison of inaction. And if we burn out, and I've burned out and it was horrible and it took me out of action for a decade, we can take a break, rest up and return when we can. Because it is only by taking justice to create peace and justice for all beings that we will free ourselves and the trillions of innocent other animals from hatred, misery and the destruction of human supremacy, and create a new world of love, kindness, justice and respect. We need to become our own heroines and heroes, living our ordinary, extraordinary lives of vegan revolution. Live vegan, get active, organise, for the animals, for ourselves, for the beautiful planet where all the animals live. Thank you.